Alright, now we're coming into the second part here, just looking at the robot modes. You got Bone Crusher, Mix Master, Scrapper, Scavenger. I might have those two swapped out, I'm not sure. And you have like all their counterparts behind them. They got the Make Toys in the second line, and they got all the or Make Toys in the second row. Then I got all the TFC toys there in the back. You know, standard bulldozer, cement mixer, front end loader, and excavator. Backhoe, not really. Backhoe is like a tractor kind of thing, just FYI. But they're all pretty similar. I mean, these guys all have treads for their robot mode, or legs or their treads. It's pretty cool. Robot mode there. Not bad. And then I get the Make Toys version. Has his treads there. The heads are real dissimilar between all three. There's no real... haven't really noticed any real good consistency with the way the faces look. But still, they're pretty cool. I mean, I like most of the Make Toys. You know, some of them have that square Scramble City kind of looking head, which I always thought was really cool. You get the TFC toys, and they're a little bit chunkier, a little bit squatter. You know, they seem like they're a little more play friendly, but I've actually, like I think I said before or once already, that I've had more quality control issues with the TFC vice the Make Toys. And then of course you can store the big fist on his butt there. That's really cool and attractive and all that. I do like the way his blade splits into three. The middle part becomes his like chest shield, and then the other two portions kind of store over the hips. That's kind of neat. It kind of sucks in vehicle mode because that's a weak point because of all the different articulation involved and getting all those pieces where they go. It's pretty neat. Got some light piping going on those guys. And Mix Master there, G1. Nice crisp stickers, bit of chrome. I did have the aftermarket purple barrel on there because I kind of like mixing up the colors a little bit. Got the Make Toys, which I think out of all three versions of Mix Master, or whatever this one's called, I don't even remember. Yeah, I like his robot mode best out of the Mix Master bots. Let me drop his waist here if I can. It's supposed to collapse in. There he goes. Oh, yeah, that's a little better. It is a little bit better. I mean, yeah, they all got the stupid big hat thing behind their head or on their head or something like that. I mean, you know, that's all his fault. But his is probably, you know, it kind of sucks. But then again, you know, how can you fault him for wearing a rocket hat? You know, so still cool. The legs on this are really weird, the way the cab comes apart and all that. Put him over there where he can fall down by himself. Or I'll just lay him down. And then his is unique in that his transformation, you can take his mixing barrel and split it apart into different like gun, rocket pod type things and stick them all over him. And then you can put the central portion on his back, or I guess you could kind of use like a hammer type weapon, but nobody can really hold it like a hammer. And he's alright. He's got a really angry looking face going on there. And we got Scrapper. He's pretty cool. He's like one of my favorites too, I think, because he has like the big blade, and then also has the free rolling wheels. And then probably out of the three modes, I like his robot mode the best. I wish his face stood out a little bit better. I mean, it's just a little black square, but it has like a Scramble City type chunky square head. He has pretty decent articulation as a robot and everything. Really starting to like the Make Toys versions a little bit better. First, you know, when I first got the TFC Hercules, I was all about that, but now that I got this set a couple months ago, I'm kind of leaning towards it. But it's cool. Like I said before in the vehicle thing, it's got a lot more detailing on here, both in the sculpt and in the paint apps, whereas these are a little bit chunkier, a little bit less on the detail side. I mean, maybe the casting has detail, but it comes off a little bit softer, so it doesn't come through quite as much. I love his head too. Same reason. Really like his head. That's really cool. Looking at that makes me want to go dig out my, I think it's TFC also, there was a fans project, one of the two, I think it's TFC, did the Insecticons, so I'm going to have to break those guys out. But it's pretty awesome. I didn't take the gun apart for their version of Devastator. It's comprised of all 6 of their weapons that they come with, and then also you get a translucent, transparent, reddish-orange to make a second version of his gun, which I would like to have seen one in black and purple instead of the translucent colors. Maybe that's just me, but that breaks down. Everybody gets their own weapon, but I didn't feel like doing that. Since it's like an overall review, I didn't want to. And then Scavenger, and he's all right. I mean, he's got the tread legs again. They got the little derpy feet, but then he has like no real good storage for his scooper, and he has the unfortunate thing of having his arm attachment flip down. So that's kind of weird. And if you kind of look on the chest, I kind of did an homage to his original G1 chest on the Make Toys version there, with the roundness and little thing in the center. And you know, they at least got it to where he can store his scoop, whatever you want to call it, shovel, on his arm, and he could also swing it around and use it as a weapon if he wanted to. So that's pretty handy. I like that. I like that a lot. Out of the 3 versions, I think I like his the best. Kind of like the treads on these guys a little bit better than I do on the TFC ones. His head's kind of dorky, but you can see the joint connector thing on the back. It's kind of got a weird system, like the tread guys have these things. I don't know. I think they could have been done a little bit differently. And this one, I do like the way his stores in arm mode, which we'll show that off next after I go through the other vehicles real quick. It's got a nice little ball jointed head, has a fist stored on his back as well. And the cool thing with the treads on the TFC ones is they're kind of geared together, so you can, once you get your fingernail in there, you can pop it out and it swings both sides of the treads out, so you get a little toe and heel spur action. They kind of flip out like almost an automorph kind of thing. That's kind of neat. Just to continue on with the guys there, we'll bring out Long Haul's counterparts. And I did throw guns on these guys just because I had them sitting there. I think I gave the Make Toys gun to the TFC Toys guy there. That was kind of neat. They all use the same 5mm pegs, I think. I don't think they're 4, I think they're 5. So yeah, you get the original G1 Long Haul, you know, which is just, his bed just flipped out for his legs. And then his arms, he actually had articulated wrists there, which is kind of neat. And then his head just flips up. It's kind of cool. And then I think his is my favorite. I didn't replicate the box art or cover art. Actually, it has him like with his arms swung around and using this like has it configured like a shield, and it looks pretty cool. But he's kind of like a little short, squat bruiser. He has big, huge fists. They look like they're just massively heavy. He's pretty neat. I think in his vehicle mode, I didn't have this folded out. I had it transformed kind of wonky. But yeah, you fold those 2 sides out. That completes the mode there for him. And then you got the TFC one. He's alright. Looks like his feet are kind of small, though. It would have been better if he had like some kind of chunk in there that came out and gave him a thicker foot. Instead of that, little ballerina toes he's got going on there. And actually, you can fold these guards up. Fold the guards up there on the sides. You can fold them down. You can punch through somebody. So, that's kind of neat. Don't really care for the way they handled the remainder of his bed, but it is what it is, I guess. Which I really hate that phrase, but... And let's see, who do I have left? Is it Hook? It's got to be Hook. Let's see, where's the little Hook at? Got the little Hook. We got the Make Toys hook, and then you got the TFC hook, which he'll kind of stand off to the side here. And he's alright. I mean, he just kind of fold his hook down there, and it kind of was kind of useless. Same super simple G1 design. He's alright. The best thing about the G1 Constructicons was they were close to the Hot Wheels size, so they blend in with those vehicles, but then you could take them and have them merge into Devastator. I like the way they handle his crane. His is probably the best. I think the original yellow one, this was non-removable, but then they went through and they redid it to where it's actually removable. You can put it on either arm, a couple different ways and all that. And that's pretty neat. I don't really care for his head. I don't care for the green heads. I like the black or the silver heads. I don't know why exactly they went with the green on him. I don't know if it's just like a... I can't remember if it's part of the transformation where he goes. I think it's what it is. That way it doesn't show up or something. But his arms are super stiff. These joints, I thought I was going to break them putting this guy in robot mode, because I've only had him in robot mode like one time before. But I think out of the three, I think he's my favorite. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like the G1, but they're not really, they can't really compete, so it's kind of hard. Him with his big dorky thing, at least his was always meant to come off. And I think they actually gave us an extra one because there was a problem with the first releases of these guys. So I got a little bit later release, so I got two of the cranes, and I still don't know where I put the hook for that. But just to show you a little bit up close, if it's focusing there, you can run string through there. It has a little hole for the string and everything, and you can run it right down the length of it. Feed it through this little. You can see the little holder type thing right there. It goes through. Then it goes into the pulley, over the top pulley, and then should go over the bottom pulley down to the hook and back up to this second pulley, and then it would function like a real, the real cable on a crane. And he's all right. He's kind of middle of the road, I think, but not too bad. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm put these guys into limb mode, and then we'll look at all the components it takes to make the what's it called? Gestalt, whatever versions, the big gigantic robot versions, and then we'll do a final assembly. So hang on, still a lot more to come.